Alrighty, what's good, everybody? What's up, Magnificent Black? Thanks for coming through so early, bro. So it's only two topics tonight, right? Reason why is because these two topics encompass a lot of other fucking subjects, and I ain't trying to be on here that long. Got Demon Souls to play, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember Demon Souls at all. You know what I mean? What's up, fam? What's up? Get this work. You know what I mean? I don't remember Demon Souls at all, so it's like probably because I didn't really play Demon Souls at all when it first came out. The shit was garbage when it first came out. But this shit's fire. Not because it looks better, it's because the first one is barely playable. You know what I'm saying? Fucking glitchy as fuck. But speaking of glitchy as fuck, right? let's talk about Cyberpunk real quick. I want to talk about Cyberpunk real quick because Cyberpunk is like a jump off to a much bigger issue in the community that don't nobody want to talk about, right? First things first, right? So the number one thing people are upset about right now is there's a lot of people giving Cyberpunk a 10 out of 10, you know what I'm saying, perfect score, even though they themselves, damn, you still waiting on that shit? Hey, my coworker is actually in his office every day waiting on fucking when that motherfucker drops so he can pre-order, right? But the craziest shit is he keep missing his opportunity. He keep missing his opportunity because he has to go into like work. Well, not go into where he like go into like a little meeting like every so often, but somehow he always have to go into the meeting right when the shit drops, and he miss it every time. It's just hilarious. And he's offering like 750 to buy mines. I'm like thinking about it. I ain't gonna front. I mean, I could live without it for a few months now that I had it, right? But at the same time, now that I had it, I don't really want to let it go like that. You know what I'm saying? But he was like 750, bro, cash. I'm like, damn. But I ain't gonna do it. I mean, I thought about it for just a second because I was like, you know what? I could just get that 750, wait until spring of next year, which ain't far. You know what I'm saying? That's like in less than 22 days. It'll be January. You feel me? But nah. What's up, Rex? Rex Arthur Ramos. Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Rex, right? That's too much shit. Thanks for coming through, though. I mean, so all right, Cyberpunk, right? I think the bigger issue is not so much why Cyberpunk has the score that it got, even though motherfuckers saying there's magnificent amount of bugs in that bitch, right? Um, the I think the bigger problem than just Cyberpunk. What's up, Def Lloyd? The bigger problem, beside from just Cyberpunk itself, right, is how motherfuckers like critique games. There's no rubric. Like every site, what's up, Quavo? Like every site, every fucking, you know, organization, whatever the case is, that rate games and all that shit. There's literally it's like the Wild West out in this bitch. They can do whatever they want, like completely. So it's almost impossible. You feel me? It's almost like impossible for you to be able to dictate what score makes sense to what, you know what I mean, to what. Like if you tell me a game is amazing, right? Like you name no cons, like you only name pros. Like when you're talking about a game, oh, the combat was amazing, it visually looks great, yada 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 yada. Like you don't say nothing bad about the game, and at the end of it, you give it an 8 out of 10, and motherfuckers gonna be like, wait, what? Have y'all ever seen a review like that? Y'all ever seen one of those before? I've seen them before. I don't know if y'all ever seen them before, but I have. I've seen reviews where motherfuckers say nothing but nice things about a game and then give it an 8. And that shit makes as much sense as a motherfucker tell me that this game is fucking riddled with bugs, like crazy bugs, and it looks disgusting and all that bullshit, right? Right? Like all that bullshit. And then and then they give it a 10. The opposite of that is just as weird, right? That's because no one's like talking about how these motherfuckers rate games. Like every different organization have a different way of how they want to rate games, right? Because if you press any one of them about it, they was like, well, we have like yada 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 certain way we rate games and all that bullshit, and people are like comparing it to god damn it, Days Gone, right? Like how Days Gone was fucking brutally murdered for fucking glitches and bugs. Um, yeah, Phil Jail. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow. Like, I don't, I can't really. I don't know how to speak about Fallout 76 in a positive light, fam. I don't even know how to do that. But I mean, because I've played games that had bugs and I enjoyed them, like Days Gone. Matter of fact, I played Days Gone. Does it have bugs? Yes. Does it have game breaking bugs? No. You know what I'm saying? Not really. Like the bugs that I can't really say no completely because there's some motherfuckers out there probably experience some crazy bugs with Days Gone. But the bugs I experienced was, um, the worst of it is like I have to like shut the game off, turn it back on, right? It didn't, and it happened like twice. Like early when I first played, I think they patched it as I was playing it, and like after 4 days of playing, like nothing happened anymore. But the first 4 days was rough for me. There was all kinds of crazy shit, right? And I forgot what. Um, I think they gave it a 70 something. And real talk, I think that's kind of fair. Like low 70 something. Now, me personally, I gave it a like a an 8, right? 8 out of 10, 80. If it didn't have bugs, it would have been like an 85. You know what I mean? But I wasn't mad that they gave it a 70 something. I think it is deserving of that. Not because the game was bad. The game wasn't bad, but it had its flaws. It had first of all, the story is not the best story ever. I'm gonna just keep it real. Well, that's how I feel about the story anyways. I don't think the story was that great, to be honest with you. The world was great, the lore of Days Gone is great, but story wasn't great. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay. You know what I mean? So I liked it enough. So when it comes to Cyberpunk, I feel like a lot of people is gonna love Cyberpunk. But we're not gonna pretend like that's not there. You know what I mean? And if we wanna talk about like media bias or whatever, people preferring Cyberpunk for whatever reason, I'm sure some of that's happening, right? But I'm sure there's some of it's not real. Like it's not real. You feel me? That's just not really happening. Motherfuckers just like don't have any rubric when it comes to like doing reviews. Like there's no rubric of how reviewers should like conduct themselves at all. And it's hard to like even enforce that at all because it's not fair to enforce it. You can't tell reviewers how to review games. That's ridiculous. You can't give them like an outline of what they need to cross off, the list to make sure a game is a certain number. You know what I mean? That's not fair. That's stopping them from their creative, outlet. They're the reviewer. They get to review the games and they deserve to review it the way they review it, right? Well, Rex, I mean, it's 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 one of those games where it should get a higher rating. The only thing I could think of that gave it such a low ratings because of the bugs. Like the bugs didn't help it at all. Days Gone, if it came out with no bugs, it would be mid 80s game. That's how I would feel about it. It would be a mid 80s game. It's not a 90 something game. Like not. I don't think so because and this is just my personal opinion, so it is what it is because I only have my own opinion to share. You know what I mean? Like I don't think Days Gone is like a 90 something game. It's not even a 91, 92 game. It's a mid 80s game. A mid 80s game, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a solid game. It's a fun, solid game. There's like, you know what I mean? 70 something is kind of low, and I feel like the reason why is at that level is because, well, like if it's in perfect form, it's a 80 something game. So because of these bugs, it's a 70 something game. That's fair in my opinion, to be honest with you, because the story didn't hit like that. Let's keep it real. I didn't feel any sense of urgency or loss or anything. Like there was no major impact to the story. You know what I mean? Shit just realistically went kind of smooth for Deacon. You know what I mean? Like everything just worked out perfectly for the motherfucker. That's how I see it. Like the story, there was I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't seem like there was a lot of conflict in Days Gone. Like I didn't feel the conflict. I didn't feel the stakes. You know what I mean? The stakes didn't seem that heavy to me. Like the game feel like just a fun ride through the map, shooting shit up. Like that's how I felt, and it was solid. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed clearing out the hordes and shit. You know what I mean? I think that's why, because people feel like it deserved a higher number and it didn't, and the reason why is because of the glitches and the bugs, right? What's up, Magnificent Black man? You know what I mean? That's the only reason why it would be in the 70s, right? So because of that, it's fair enough. Like I said, I think Days Gone is a solid 80, something game, mid 80s to high 80s. But it's not a 90 something game. Let's keep it real. Like I mean, if you love Days Gone, then you know what I mean? To you it's like a 10 out of 10. That's cool. You know what I mean? No, that's cool. Like you deserve to have that. You can keep that as your truth about the game. Me, it didn't hit like that for me. Like it's a solid game. I enjoyed my time with it, but it's not the best of Sony exclusives. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? When we talking Sony exclusives, there's the other games that like would overshadow Days Gone pretty easily. Matter of fact, you know what I mean. But the story was solid enough. The characters likable enough. Um, it's just there wasn't just I don't know. I guess it just didn't have that for me to give it like a low 90 score. It's a solid 80 something game, and we'll give it that. But it was given a 70 something. I think that's where people are upset, which is understandable. You know, like you gave a game 70, was it 71 or 72? Something low as fuck. I don't really remember, but it's something low as fuck. Like you say that about this game, and then this game has magnificent bugs. You even said that it has magnificent bugs, or some along that line. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact quote, but they said this motherfucker have like an atrocious amount of bugs, bro. What's up, Plus on Black? You know what I mean? Like it has an atrocious amount of bugs. Then how the fuck do you give it such a high score? What's up, Garuda? How the fuck you give it such a high score, right? And that comes back to what I was saying. Where how do we like even come up with a way to enforce some kind of rubric on this shit? We can't really, because you can't tell a reviewer how to do their job. You know what I mean? You can't tell a reviewer how to review shit. I know we as the general public bitch at them a whole lot, but realistically, that's their job to review shit. Like we can't really tell them what to do, because every organization is different. Every one of them have a different way of reviewing. Some of them cap, some of them don't, and even the ones that do really cap for certain companies, we don't know for sure. For sure, you know what I mean? Sometimes they doing shit that looks mad sus and shit, but like if we don't really have any tangible proof, let's keep it real. We don't know for real, you know. But the the thing is, how do we take them seriously, or even take their word on anything if their words doesn't like change day per day, right? I remember, I remember who was it? It's not Greg Miller, but it was somebody Greg Miller told me to go watch. So I decided to go watch because he was talking about, oh, the mindset of a reviewer and all that bullshit. And this dude was talking, right? And he was talking about, well, different reviewers have different tastes in games, and some of them have to like, review certain games that they don't even play particularly. And I was like, why the fuck would you? What? It's just like game reviews is just or journalism isn't like taken seriously enough for them to actually put effort in. You know, it's just not that. It's weird too because video games make so much money. You would think they would put more effort into the media surrounding video game, but they don't. And it's hard to control that. How do you control that shit? So you're gonna see this shit happens all the time. You see a game has crazy amount of bugs, get high score, and you wonder why, right? Another game has crazy bugs, has low score, and you can't think of any other reasons besides from the fact that it has bugs. And it had goofy ass controversy. I'm starting to remember Days Gone now. It had like stupid ass controversy because Deacon was looking at uh, what's her name, Sarah's ass. You know what I mean? I'm like, motherfucker, that's his fiance. If you can't look at your fiance's ass, who ass can you look at? Like, what the fuck is going? Like, you know what I mean? Dumbass. Like, I do remember that controversy. I thought it was the most insane shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Like you can't objectify your own wife, then who can you objectify? Goddamn, like what's up, Arsenic? You know what I'm saying? Like goddamn, that shit just made no sense. And that's the only reason why Days Gone is even in the picture when we talking about Cyberpunk, because that's the one game that stands out immediately as soon as they hear that shit. Because usually when a game that has bugs on release, it will be patched later, but it deserves a lower score. You know what I mean? If you go to a restaurant grand opening day and the food was bad, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, give it a couple of weeks so the chef can like get accustomed to like cooking there and shit." No, food was mad garbage. I might return in 6 months and see if there's any differences. And if it's garbage, the next time I come through, I'll probably never come through again. Right? Isn't that how it works? It's not the same person, is it? And it's hard to trust reviews, man. It is. I'm concerned about that too, Future Element, because I like Days Gone too, man. I'm not bashing Days Gone at all. I think it's a good game. Not a great game. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. It's not a great game. It's not like Ghost of Tsushima good. I'm just keeping it real. I think Ghost of Tsushima is a lot better than Days Gone. It's just more enjoyable for me. But Days Gone was a solid game overall. I wouldn't. I'm not knocking it, but it's not an amazing game. Let's just keep it 1,000. You know what I mean? It could be better, and it could get better too. That's why I hope there is a sequel, especially with the endings that you get. No spoilers if motherfuckers who not have not played Days Gone. Days Gone been trending for the last couple of days. It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? But if you haven't, man, it's a fun ride. You know what I mean? Solid uh, zombie-esque game. They're not really zombie, but zombie game. God damn it! Like they're fucking zombies. They're infected or whatever, but whatever. You know what I mean? You shoot them all the same. You feel me? They all trying to kill you. You shoot them all the same, just like every other infected zombie, undead, whatever the fuck categories you want to put them into. Well, and here's crazy. Here's what's crazy too, right? I don't hate Cyberpunk at all. You know, I don't hate video games. That's a weird concept to even have. That's some that you're in too deep into fanboy shit if you like in negative fanboy shit. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you. Not all like fanboy like got that negative and can take like you know what I'm saying. Like people put that negative shit on the word fanboys, but I remember a time when fanboys was cool. Like not cool, but you know are like a positive thing for the brand that they enjoy. You know what I mean? Because no one can hype you up about a certain thing more than a fanboy, right? Like if you want to talk, you know, X Men or some shit with me, like I am an X Men fanboy. I would love to talk X Men with you, and it's all positive. I'm not gonna disrespect other shit like other comic book characters and shit as I tell you about X Men shit, right? Like it's not like that's what real fanboys are, the people that get you excited about the shit that they're excited about. You know what I mean? Like it only became negative because people made it negative because like you purposely trigger somebody into getting mad at you because you think that's funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm talking about like psychology shit when I'm talking about cyberpunk. My bad. So I don't hate cyberpunk at all, but I'm not hyped for it. And whoever's watching that is a fan or is waiting on Cyberpunk and is hyped for it, don't let my lack of hype ruin your hype, man. Like I hope you enjoy the shit. I hope it's exactly how you hoped it to be. You know what I'm saying when you play Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? Like I hope it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just ever since I want to say like 2 years ago, bro. I've been saying this for like the longest. I'm sure y'all heard me. Whoever been on this podcast, you know what I'm saying, listening to this shit, y'all know every time I talk about Cyberpunk, I tell y'all every time I hear some news about Cyberpunk, I get less hype, right? And you know what? The moment when I saw the melee combat that they shown months back, that's what killed it for me. I was like, you know what? I think I'm cool, right? I think that's right around the time when we found out there was no wall running and it's gonna be in first person and all kind of shit. Just the more shit they tell me about this game, the less hype I became of it. And then they showed me like at the end of that storm of hype killerness, right? The shit that did it for me was when they showed the hand to hand combat. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? You feel me? So I'm cool. And plus I'm on new generation shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to play on the old generation version. So either way, I might have to wait for that new shit for the PS5 version to come out. And if you play on PC, then I suggest you do that because that's probably the best way to play that shit. Probably even better than the PS5 version when the PS5 version comes out. Let's just keep it 1,000. You know what I mean? Probably want to play that shit on PC. But from what I heard, man, 3090 is having trouble running that shit at 4K and yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? I don't fucking know. I heard it can't even run it at like overclocked and it couldn't really even run that game properly. So I don't know, man. Here's what I can say about as far as the quality of Cyberpunk. Um, I'm not speaking on behalf of like gamers and shit because this is just my taste in games. I think the Witcher series is very good, but it's not great either. It is low 90s, high 80s type of game, but it has a lot of hits, but it also has a lot of misses. You can't tell me that um, the Witcher, the whole series, which game you want to count one, two, or three, or all three of them. You can't tell me it has amazing combat. Combat's trash, right? Can't even tell me combat is good in The Witcher, all right, at all. It's not. Well, let me take it back. It's not trash. It's doable. It's just meet the criteria for what you would call combat in a RPG game. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. so so I mean, as far as Cyberpunk, I'm not well, tell you the truth, I was about to say I'm not concerned about lore and story, but I'm kind of actually hesitant to talk about that. You know why? Because the Witcher series, the reason why it's so popular is because in their home country, that shit is a very big deal. There's TV shows, movies, and all kinds of shit about The Witcher before the game even came out. Is it like it was done by this novelist, right? There's a novelist who wrote The Witcher stories already. Now, how much stuff did they tweak in the game? I don't know. You know, how much stuff did they put a spin on it? You know what I mean? Like, did they do it like Cory Barlog did with fucking Greek and Nordic myth to where he flipped the whole shit up? You know what I mean? But I I'm not hyped because it's not like CD Projekt Red has been around forever and have made a bunch of amazing games. They made a solid series. And that's nothing to clown at, you know what I'm saying? I respect them for that. But in my opinion, the Witcher series is not the best, like the most amazing game ever. You know, it's not even close. They're not like the greatest games ever. They're very good though. Don't get me wrong, but they lack in certain elements. The best thing about The Witcher is the lore and the story. Now, lore I can't give it to them because they didn't come up with that lore. The story, I don't know how much of that is done by them and or how much of that is done by the original author. You feel me? Graphics is decent though. It's pretty good. Not the best either, but it's pretty good. You know. So they came off the back of that into Cyberpunk 2027. Now Cyberpunk has its own lore already, so their lore for Cyberpunk is probably gonna be pretty good. But as far as story is concerned, I don't know if the story is gonna be great or not. I'm just gonna keep it real. It might be. It probably will be, but we don't. I don't. I can't really give them that benefit of a doubt, man. They haven't been around doing it like all these other studios have, man. Say what you want about Rockstar, but they're dope as fuck when they do decide to make some games. You know what I mean? Say what you want about them. Like it fucking sucks that people keep buying fucking GTA. You know what I'm saying? They never stop buying GTA 5, so they never gonna finish making a GTA 6, or so it's coming, or so I heard. But let's see what happens, right? But I don't know. I'm never that big of a fan of CD Projekt Red. I don't think they've proven themselves to that point yet. Do I want this game to fail? Not at all. I would hope this game is good. I would hope it's everything that people who are waiting on this game expect it to be. It's just I'm not hyped for it enough to play it day one. All right. Um, Playing it day one means a lot of sacrifice that I'm not willing to sacrifice. You know what I mean? I think 2021 is a big year for us get this work. I think it's gonna be a big year. I mean, God of War is coming out supposedly in 2021. If it don't get delayed to 2022, but we'll see. I think there's a lot of stuff happening in 2021. Isn't Horizon coming out in 2021 as well? Well, there you go, Arsenic. I mean, but that's what I'm saying though. Like the two things that you can be sure that should be good in Cyberpunk is lore and story, right? And lore, I'll give them that because it's set in the world of Cyberpunk. Story, I'm still wishy washy about because they have to come up with the whole story on their own. Let's see what they can do, you know because The Witcher is based off of those novels already. It's not like they came up with the whole story fresh. They turned it into a game. but they took heavy inspiration from the book, so we'll see. Combat, I'll also have to see. It's in first person, and that kind of fucked it up in my opinion. Because a game like that should be in third person. It just doesn't make any sense that it's not. And to tell me to be immersed, that you want me to be immersed by putting me in first person, if you say so, if you say so, just don't agree. And that combat looks rough as fuck for me. That's my personal opinion. Don't let it ruin yours. If you're still hyped for it, be hyped for it. And real talk, I shouldn't even have to do that disclaimer. You should already understand that you can't kill my hype on the games that I like. You know what I mean? I gotta check on when Little Devil Inside is coming out. I don't know why would that game speak to me so much, man. I need to play that shit. I need to play that shit. That shit looks dope as fuck. I don't even know when it's coming out, but I'm sure I'll know as soon as a couple months before it comes out. I'm sure I'll know about it. Yeah, God of War, Horizon, and Kina. That's solid for next year, man. I'm hyped for that God of War, man. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this new God of War. I'm not. I like the original okay, but I like this new God of War way better. I didn't think God of War was that, and the original hack and slash was that great of a hack and slash. I think other hack and slashes did it way better than God of War. Even though God of War did it pretty well. There's a lot of games you know, that are clones of God, like the old school God of Wars. But um, I think Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden did it better. I'm just being honest. I think they did it better than the old school God of War. I think the new school God of War did the Souls S style of combat better than most other games who tried. Still crosshairs. But yeah, man, Cyberpunk. I think the whole situation is not so much the game itself. It's more about how do you control the way. Well, not so much control, but how do you put out a guidelines so that reviewers can be on the same page when they review and shit. You can't. Like it's not unless they have like a reviewers guild or some bullshit like that to where they would actually have to stick to a certain standard. You know what I mean? Because right now every fucking um, every one of them reviews games differently, and there's not much we could do about it. So you'll see this shit all the time. And the thing is, the only way that you can take them seriously is by not taking them seriously until the point where they have to actually take it seriously enough for us to actually take it seriously. Do you understand? Like you actually just like once you no longer make them a big deal, they'll have to find a way to become a big deal by actually doing honest work. You know, I'm not saying no reviewers does honest work. That's really unfair to cast a whole net. But I'm just saying a lot of reviews never seem to make sense. It doesn't seem to make sense to me, and I think it's not so much the fault of Cyberpunk. Like you could say that it has shields and whatnot. And by the way, call them what you want, but an influencer is a shield to me. I don't see how they're not. What is a shield? A shield is get paid or get free shit from a corporation for them to say nice things about that corporation and the corporation's product. That's a shield. The fuck do you think a fucking influencer is? You know what I mean? Like, don't don't get it twisted. Like, what are you thinking? But I'm sure they're around. But I'm just saying, like, that's how you can negate that problem by having some kind of structure that everyone in the industry have to follow. But can you enforce that or not? That's the problem. Probably not. Probably not. So here's what I say. On day of release, if it came out and you get the patches and it still look atrocious, then I don't even know. I don't even understand the conversation. And on top of that, Why the fuck would they give reviewers the shitty version of the game, expect them to review it, and not let them fucking show their own footage, and have to show B-roll footage? No, like that. The responsibility of the reviewer is to review what they experience. You know what I mean? You, as the corporation, is responsible for putting your best foot forward by giving them the best copy possible. And if you know that it won't be the best copy possible until this patch hit, then fuck it, you're gonna have to delay reviews or somehow get, a new version with the patch already in there for them, because that's on you. Oh, the problem with that is, plus on black, is you're always gonna see it, because what is a corporation gonna not do? Not try to market their shit? They're gonna try to market their shit, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? The only problem is the fucking game reviews, like the wild wild west out here, man. There's no fucking structures to this bullshit. People just do whatever, and let's be real, there are shields out there. Let's be honest. Let's not act like they don't exist. They exist. Stop pretending like they don't exist and point them out. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. All right? Come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? Come on. Some of it is like super blatant. I'm sure all of us see it. So it's like the only way you can actually take them seriously is if they have some kind of structure to it. But they won't, because how are you gonna enforce that? You can't enforce someone to review their game. You know what I mean? You can't enforce someone on how to review a game. It's just not okay. But low key, that's what Cyberpunk people is doing. They won't let you show actual footage. They make you show be real footage, right? Stopping you from talking about certain things about the game. So the company that you're reviewing, you have to review the game their way. Not your way, but their way. And that's where it's fucked up. And because these game review companies live off of game companies, it's hard not to shield, you know? Your livelihoods depends on it. I can't stand the shit because I'm a gamer. I'm not in the industry at all, so I don't appreciate that shit at all. But if I was in the industry, I'll probably understand a little bit more. Like, goddamn, like my livelihood depends on this company providing me with shit to make content for. You know what I mean? If I keep it too real, you know what I mean? I'm basically just like cutting myself out of a check. But that's why it's so hard. So at the end of the day, man, Cyberpunk, I hope it's good, because who would want a game to come out and be bad? There's just no reasons for it. You know what I'm saying? There's just no reason for it. I would hope all games come out to be good, because we pay for them. The weirdest thing I've ever seen is some dude, I forgot what who. I seen him on Twitter from now and then. I think he's like a PC dude, and he said like the cringiest shit I've ever seen. Like he has like a S for his avatar. His name is Matthew or some shit. I don't know. Like I got into it with him like once a long time ago, but I seen him wrote some shit that is like super cringy to me, right? Like he said something about like he wasn't even planning on playing Horizon, but he is gonna buy it anyways just to piss off ponies. And I'm sitting there like, word? Like even if that's a troll, that's such a fail, man. Like really, dog. And what's crazy is to a lot of people that's not a troll. They really mean that shit. Like I don't know about y'all, man, but I hope all of y'all play what y'all play and let me play what I play. Is how I feel. You know what I mean? I mean, if if you don't enjoy yourself with a console or a game or something, it's not gonna make me enjoy my game more. I will still enjoy my game the way I enjoy it. So I'd rather not people have You know what I'm saying? I'd rather people have a wonderful experience with their gaming. This fanboy shit is fucking weird. It's like extra weird to me. You know what I mean? I want this game to be good, but you can't turn a blind eye to this type of stuff. It's crazy. And it's not really on Cyberpunk, it's more on people around it, the industry itself, the way games are fucking being reviewed and shit. It just fucking doesn't make sense. We're supposed to take this Metacritic like seriously. But how do we even do that when like there's no rubric to it to for us to fucking take it seriously? We don't even understand how none of it works. People who do the reviews don't even know how it works. They rattle off a bunch of issues and give a game a 9 or a 10. Rattle off a bunch of like nice like pros about a game and then fucking give it like a 7. Do you feel me? Like this, it's literally the fucking wild wild west. Like it makes no fucking sense. That I'm sure that is a troll future, but I'm sure there's a lot of motherfuckers who say that type of shit and mean it. You know what I mean? Shit's crazy out here. One y'all on the round table the other day, motherfucker pulled a gun on cam because we was questioning them about Xbox and shit. Like, old thug nasty fucking instigating and shit. Got this motherfucker pull out a fucking, was it a 20? It wasn't a 22, was it? I wasn't even paying attention. I was high as fuck, but I just died laughing. I was like, dog, why are you incriminating yourself so bad? You know what I mean? Motherfuckers out there take this shit seriously, dog. Like, I didn't believe it at first either, but some of these motherfuckers out here mean this shit. It's fucking crazy, but that's just what it is. Um, but I mean, we'll leave it there, bro. Cyberpunk, it's been a long time coming. You know what I mean? I remember the original trailer with the model cyborg chick. Yeah, you didn't know, Rex? Look up the Roundtable podcast, bro. I'm a part of it. Like the other night, fam. Like as this dude, and I hate to put him on blast like that, but come on, man. Like you old enough to shoot somebody and kill them with a gun, bro. Like have some sense to you. I don't even know how old this motherfucker is, but you old enough to hold a gun in your hand. God damn it, have some sense to you. Jesus. Word. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. Plus, I'm like, but I'm just saying, like a lot of motherfuckers take this shit way more serious than they should. It's unhealthy, matter of fact. But all right, let's move forward because I don't really think I got much else to say about Cyberpunk. I know a bunch of people who aren't excited about Cyberpunk, and I know a bunch of people that are, right? And me, the last thing I would ever do is try to kill someone's hype on a game. There's just no reason for that. I hope it goes well, but I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. Me personally, I'm not hyped for it, but I'll probably cop it once the PS5 version come out. If the people who I know that's been hyped for it tells me that they like it, and if any of my homies who don't like it tell me actually it's not bad, then maybe like I would be a little bit more hyped. Because I mean, I'm not hyped for it because of my own like bias towards the things that I don't like about this game. You know what I mean? It's first person. I didn't know about wall running and shit, so it doesn't matter. It's been taken out because I didn't fucking know wall running exists before they said they was gonna take it out. So it's whatever. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not really a fan of the combat they showed. I was not a fan of that at all. And the gunplay looked like regular ass gunplay to me. I've seen gunplay like that in plenty of games. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's, maybe I would change my mind on it, but as of right now, I don't hate it. I don't really love it either. I'm not like super hyped for it or nothing. You know what I mean? I could chill on it. So that's just where I'm at. And with this whole controversy, it's it's not that big of a fault on Cyberpunk. and CD Project Red as it is the fucking gaming fucking review system, or just the fucking just the industry that's around games and gaming media that needs to be ironed out more. Gaming is such a new fucking genre, bro, like of entertainment that is still in its like adolescent years, even though it seems like it's been around a long time, 20, 30, 40 years, but that's really nothing. Music, television, movies, like, you know what I mean, books and shit, they've been out for hundreds of years. Well, not television. Television been probably around close to 100 years, right? Close to 100 years. It hasn't been 100 years yet, but every other form of entertainment's been around for hundreds, thousands of years. It has more culture built up behind it. Gaming existed after our parents was born, bro. That's how like that's how recent that shit is. Everything else existed before our parents was born. You know what I'm saying? Days Gone is cool, man. It's not the most amazing game you'll ever play, but it's a solid ride, man. You'll enjoy it. I think the only thing I would complain about Days Gone is I don't think there's enough customization for your bikes and stuff. I think it's kind of limited. Well, at least during the time I played, I know they added a lot of stuff to it, but when I was playing, there wasn't. Once you unlock everything, you just unlocked everything, but everything wasn't a whole lot, right? But let's move on to the Game Awards, bro. Be honest with you, when it comes to the Games Awards, I am hyped for everything except for the awards. I don't give a fuck what games get what because I don't think those awards matter at all. And what I mean by that is like the Game of the Year award is such a this particular one. I'm not exactly sure why this one is the most important ones out of all the game awards, but I feel like the ones where the fans are the one that choose the winner is the most important ones to me. But what do I know, right? So I'm looking forward to the Game Awards, but it's not about the awards. Like I don't give a shit who gets what at all. Like I mean I hope that people who deserve it gets it, right? Because it is nice for them. It is nice for devs to. I don't know how much politics comes into these awards. I'm sure there is a plenty of politics behind these awards. Who gets what for what game and shit. But it is still nice for those people, the devs who made the games and shit, especially the ones who deserve it, get an award because they work pretty hard, man. I mean, motherfuckers are always bitching about crunch and all this other shit. Well, I mean, they get awards and shit. All right, their team get an award. People applaud them. We appreciate their work. We pay for it. That's how you pay for your son's fucking education. Is because I bought your fucking game. That's why you worked 100 hours that period to get this fucking game out. So I would buy it so your kids can fucking go to school. You know, how life works, right? So I mean, and if your team come up with a great game and I love it and people out there love it, you deserve to be celebrated for that. Like, it's good for them, but me as a viewer, I don't really give a fuck about none of these awards. I don't. I watch it for the fucking trailers. I am hyped for all the trailers of all the games, of all the shit that's possible. I mean, I know there's been a lot of Silent Hill rumors and Metal Gear remake rumors, and either one would be very cool. Like very, very cool. Please let it happen. Right? I need to see fucking Elden Ring. It's been forever since we seen some Elden Ring shit. I need that. Um, some God of War fucking gameplay would be dope. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of possibilities for the Game Awards, the shit that could be shown, right? So I'm really hyped for all that stuff, all the possibilities of the trailers that's gonna be out, and it's gonna be mainly next generation shit. some cross-gen shit, I'm sure, but also next generation shit. So well, current generation shit. We here now. If you on a PS4, you fucking on the old gen. You know what I'm saying? We on the new gen now. But I'm hyped for that. But as far as like people fighting between Ghosts and Ghosts and fucking The Last of Us, you know how I really feel about it? I'm actually very torn about it because I love both games for very different reasons. Like playing The Last of Us 2 is like drinking a hot cup of coffee in the middle of a fucking snowy day, like just chilling out. You know what I'm saying? Drinking some hot ass coffee on a winter day. And Ghost is like nice sip of sake at night in the spring. She's both lovely. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to like pick a winner between the two, in my opinion. But to tell you truthfully, I really think between the two, The Last of Us 2 should be Game of the Year. Now, this is just my take. I'm not saying that's what it should be at the Game Awards because that's the Game Awards. I don't have control over that shit. I just feel like I like The Last of Us 2 as an overall package compared to Ghost of Tsushima. Because Ghost of Tsushima is a solid game all around, right? And there's a couple of things you could say is groundbreaking about it, but it's just not it's just not on the same level as The Last of Us. Because The Last of Us is so good that it makes people still emotional to this day. But to this day, do you see how emotional motherfuckers get? Whether it's good or bad, whether they love it or they hate it. If they love it, they really love it. If they hate it, they really hate it. That's gotta say something about the game. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Direct? You know what I mean? It gotta mean something about the game if you fucking, if you fucking hate it so much or love it so much. It struck a chord somehow with you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm not either one that wins, whether it's Last of Us or Ghost. I don't mind either way. I think both games could win, or Final Fantasy VII remake. I throw it in there. I feel like it deserves it. Like those the games that we've been getting in 2020, even though 2020 has been really shitty, it's been a great year for gaming. I mean, it's been a great year. It's been a lot of fucking bangers in this last year that we played, man. And and I know Nintendo guys and Xbox guys. I see the tweets. I see them. I see that you guys are upset about Game Awards because and no Nintendo games or Xbox games even being mentioned, right? That's not the Game Awards fault. That's not Sony's fault either. Y'all do know who fault that is, right? I'm just saying, y'all know whose fault that is. That there's no Xbox games or Nintendo games. And I seen the most nonsense tweet I've ever seen in my life like earlier today, where there was like publish like they should make a rule where you can only have one game from each publishers. And I'm like, why would that even make sense? It's like because PlayStation's taking up too many slots. It's fucking insane. It's like punishing a smart kid for being too smart. This publisher put out too many game of the year quality games that we have to like handicap them by making them only put one game in a year. They have to pick the best game they got and put it against everybody else's bullshit, which wouldn't even make sense at all because then it wouldn't even be a fucking competition. It's no longer a competition between the best game of the year. It becomes the best game of each fucking developer or each publisher. That shit makes no sense. But the games award, man, I'm just so hyped for just the trailers. I don't really even care who wins and lose on anything. You know, I don't think like as gamers it matters that much to us. Really, I think it's just more about bragging rights. Um, and bragging rights, as especially for this year, there's no reason for me to care at all. It's all PlayStation shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all it's all PlayStation shit. There's like literally nothing in this besides like no matter whatever wins, I'm fucking have bragging rights, and I don't really even care for bragging rights. That's why it's just not a concern between Ghost or or The Last of Us. And to be honest with you, it's not even fair because I've seen the crazy shit that's happening on um as far as between The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. How there's plenty of motherfuckers that don't play neither games are like voting for no reason because they hate a perceived narrative of a game. What I mean by that is, y'all know who this dude Yellow Flash is? Have you ever seen this motherfucker? He's like a I don't know, you see, anti SJW type dude. I don't know, right? And like he was celebrating Ghost of Tsushima winning, not because Ghost of Tsushima won the player's choice, but because The Last of Us lost. Do you understand? Like they militarized themselves to vote against a game because of their perceived fucking uh, thoughts of the game. That's sad. That's really sad. And that's not no longer gamers related. This is y'all's bullshit that y'all brought into the gaming community. You feel me? You brought y'all's bullshit into the gaming shit. It should have been, you know, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us. Which game was better on the merits of the games, not your fuck, you know what I'm saying? Not your fuckery, not your bullshit fucking narratives, what you hate, what you don't hate. You know what I mean? Oh, word future. I mean, no, I mean, if you have a channel, you have to make some sense somewhere. Otherwise, you'll never have people follow you. But if you know, if you fucking at the end of the day, if you fucking crazy, people who follow you will be like, wait a minute. You know, after a while, after they watch enough of your videos, they were like, wait a minute, nah, I'm cool. I don't think I'll kick with y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that happens. I've actually seen a couple of videos that he made that I was like, this motherfucker make a good point. You know what I mean? That's the crazy part. Like, there's certain things that you will agree with people on, and if motherfuckers catch you on a certain video where you're like, you know what, I agree with what he just said, right? You might not notice it until a couple videos later. You be like, wait a minute, I might agree with what he said about this thing, but all this other shit he's saying, that shit's wild as fuck. No, I'm not. That's Yellow Flash. I'm assuming to you, or right to you, that's how it was. But like that's crazy that you're not a gamer. You don't play games for its enjoyment. You actually militarize your little clique or whatever, your peoples who are against this um narrative, right? And I'm saying narrative with air quotes, like narrative about within this game. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Every game has some kind of narrative. It's whether you appreciate it or you don't. You know what I mean? I like The Last of Us, bro. I like The Last of Us 2. I like Ghost of Tsushima. Either one that wins doesn't matter. But this shit right here, this has nothing to do with either game being better than the other. It's fucking this weird shit that they dragged into this that shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's like ridiculous. Motherfuckers like anti SJWs voting against it, SJW voting for it. All right, and I'm sure there is some kind of like um hacking they was doing, and whatever the case is, all this other shit has nothing to do with gaming. right? It's no longer about gaming. It's about fucking this other shit that they're over here concerning themselves about. That has nothing to do with gaming. Do you think, like real talk? Do you think the fuel that fuel the race between Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us, was it gaming related, or is some other bullshit that feel it to be that way, to have the controversy that it has? You know what I mean? You can't tell me it's not, and it's sad, bruh. And it's sad it's that way. Like we over here just fucking, you know what I'm saying? We over here just fucking watching it. We see it happen because these motherfuckers openly tweet about it and talk about it regularly. Like that's okay. Like this, my hobby is the shit y'all using to fight y'all dumbass fucking war. I'm not even talking about the console war. I'm talking about you dumbass anti SJW and SJW motherfuckers fighting over dumb shit, and y'all brought it into my hobby. Like what the fuck, man? I don't care for this. I'm a grown man. I can make my own decisions on what should be acceptable and what shouldn't be acceptable. And if I have kids, I'll raise my kids the way I would raise my kids. I don't need y'all to bicker over all this bullshit. I got it. I'm cool. You don't have to fight over what my opinion should be. Can you leave my hobby the fuck alone so I can just enjoy it the way it's meant to be enjoyed? If it wasn't for all this politics behind Game Awards, I would enjoy the Game Awards. I wouldn't be excited to know who wins. But there's just so much politics behind it. Tell you the truth, I love Sekiro, but I didn't think Sekiro deserved to get Game of the Year over Death Stranding. And I'm not saying that because it's a PlayStation exclusive, because it's not anymore. It's on PC. I'm saying that because that game, in my mind, deserved Game of the Year. Sekiro is a great game, but it didn't transcend gaming like fucking Death Stranding did. Or maybe I'm just a fanboy. I don't know, but I love Death Stranding. I think it's one of the most fucking unique games ever. Me too, Rex. That's what I'm about to do. I'm mainly watching it for the trailers. I'm super hyped for all the trailers. I'm expecting games, that we've been seeing little pieces of to show itself. Elden Ring. I want to be surprised. I want to see some cool shit, man. I want to see fucking Silent Hill. I'm tired of the fucking rumors, man. I'm getting sick of that shit. I need to see that shit. Show that shit to me, please. One of them fucking Konami games. Just one of them. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who bring it to us. Sony, fucking Microsoft. I don't give a shit. Just show me already. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm so done with fucking these bullshit ass rumors. I've been seeing those rumors for 2 fucking years now. Them Silent Hill. I mean, of course, the homie Thrash, he was saying, like, he was talking to some dude, some big, higher ups in gamings and whatnot at an airport, and the motherfucker told him years ago that that shit's already bought and paid for by Sony. But I mean, I'm not gonna take his word for it, but at the same time, I can't deny that it does seem like it's starting to look kind of factual. But I can't really call it until it happens. You know what I mean? But I need it to happen. It's really hilarious because this year, like, there's just nothing to fight over because everything is just Sony shit. Like, if you're a Sony, fan or fanboy, I don't give a shit. If you're a fanboy or a fan of Sony products, you know what I'm saying, PlayStations and whatnots, or you're like me who just like playing on PlayStation because you like PlayStation shit, that makes you a fan, I guess. Or you can call me a fanboy. I'm cool too. It's whatever. If you call me a fanboy, I will speak on behalf of all ponies for you. You know what I mean? I don't like doing that because I'm not. But if you call me a fanboy, then I get to speak on behalf of all other fanboys. You know what I mean? But like within this year, man, everything is coming up Sony. You know what I mean? What are we gonna like? I'm sure there's some categories that third party would take, but Nintendo isn't really repping well this year. Neither is Xbox, and there's just not much else you can, what else we gonna talk about? What else we gonna talk about when it comes to like competition anymore? There's not much competition, and I think if people just slow down for a second with this whole, cyberpunk and, well, not cyberpunk, but The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima bullshit. Like if they just slow down for a second, they'll realize. And I'm not talking about the people that's like in there, fighting about SJW shit and all that shit. I'm talking about like the gamers that are caught up in the sidelines of it. You know what I mean? Just getting caught up or swept up in all this bullshit. If you just take a step back and for a second and just look around this shit, you'll realize how crazy this shit is. Like all this shit seems crazy to me. Like we expect certain shit that I don't know why we expect. You know, we expect games to be buggy nowadays. What kind of shit is that? I see people say the weirdest things, and I don't know. It's just craving attention on the internet, like they just looking for that clout or whatever. But I just don't understand that shit. Like, why can't you just be like, if you want shit to be better, like, let's be real. Like, we all say it all the time, but no one live up to it. Like, if you want to be better, like, be honest about it. But no, people like, you know, either need the attention or they need the super chats. It's one or the other. Me, I'm gonna keep it real. I guess I need the attention because I mean, I'm not doing it for super chats. I just like talking about gaming, man. I want to be honest about it. I just hate capping for no reason, man. Gaming is an enjoyable hobby. Why can't we just keep it at that and discuss that? Why we gotta bring up all this other shit? Especially when it comes to this whole controversy over, The Last of Us and all that shit. Whether if The Last of Us doesn't win, then Ghost wins. And if Last of Us wins, then The Last of Us wins. It doesn't really change anything about the games. Those games are either good or it's not to you. Like I enjoy both for totally different reasons, but I enjoy both. And no matter how much whining and crying one group of people does, it's not going to change that. Like I can't help but think independently because I don't really fit in growing up. I'm an Asian dude that grew up in Louisville. It's really hard to fit in anywhere except for with other Asian dudes. And at times I don't feel like I fit in with other Asian dudes. You feel me? Sometimes I feel like what Asian people used to call it back in the day. I'm like a bat. I can't fly with birds, but I can't hang out with like woodland creatures either because I'm not like the rest of them. I'm just out on my own, just doing shit. You know what I mean? That's how I feel from time to time, right? Well, Rex, I don't know what to tell you about Nintendo people and Xbox people because I'm neither. I don't really play on neither platforms no more. Right? I haven't played on Nintendo in a long time. The last Nintendo I had was a Nintendo Wii. That was the last Nintendo system I had. The last Xbox I had was the Xbox 360. And the reason why I can tell y'all this shit without even flinching because for some odd reason motherfuckers feel like it's necessary to own all system to be a gamer or some other shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is, but I don't ever feel like that. I don't need to feel that. I'll tell you I play what I play. Okay, I enjoy what I enjoy, so I just buy with the stuff that I want to buy. If that doesn't fit into your criteria of what a gamer is supposed to be, then I guess I'm not. But I'm just doing me. You know what I mean? You can play on whatever you want. Like I would never disrespect someone because they're playing on a system I'm not playing on. You enjoy yourself, but don't try to sell me on why I should play on the same system as yours and the system I'm playing on is trash. You know what I mean? I mean, as long as you don't do that, it's cool. It's whatever. Like you could do whatever you want with your system. I like my shit. That's why I bought my shit. But that's not how the console war works. And don't get me wrong, I know people come on here and talk about how much they hate console war, but I love console wars. But it has to be a true console war. It has to be based on facts, logic, and some personal bias because, that's what console war is made of, personal bias from time to time. But it has to be embedded in some kind of facts. You know what I mean? Nowadays, the console war doesn't exist because nothing is really based upon facts no more. It's just trolling one another. It's not even real facts. You know what I mean? It's just nonsense back and forth. Like it's not even real no more. But like a solid, like healthy console war is what pushed the industry forward. The reason why so many people within the industry, we are not in the industry. We are just people who buy their shit. You know what I mean? What's up, Jemaya? Like we're not in the industry. We just buy their shit. You know what I mean? But if you notice, a lot of people are like trying to separate. Like Phil Spencer looking at it, it's like motherfuckers that's talking about like, oh, uh, what was it? What did he say? Tribalism in game. Like, listen, bro. Now you lucky tribalism exists in gaming. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in business. And you know what's crazy about that? Like he said that like it's a bad thing. But that's how you know that's fucked up, right? Because here's the thing: there's no such thing as a company who would hate the idea of a group of people out there that are die-hard fans of your product. You know what I mean? Like I told y'all before, fanboys are not bad. Fanboys are actually very healthy because no one can hype you on some shit more than a fanboy can because they're already fanboys. You know what I'm saying? They can hype you on a certain product or a certain anything as long as they're a fanboy of that. They can hype you up on it. You know what I mean? You need that. You think about this for a second. Why do Xbox have fanboys? Because back in the day they came out with the original Xbox. It struck a chord with a certain group of people. They bought it, they played it, they liked it. I did not, to be honest with you. I was still on PS2's, heavy. I was still on PS2 way heavy for me to even buy the first Xbox. I got it later after the generation basically was almost over. I got it at the end of it for like a short period of time, but I didn't really play on it that like that. But when I got the 360, I played it way more. I played the 360 way more than I played the original one, and it never read Ring of Death on me. Mine actually never read Ring of Death. You see, if I was a real pony, I was like, oh, and it read Ring of Death a week later. No, mine never read Ring of Death. I kept mine until like I got rid of it. It never died on me. But I'm just being honest about my choice. I no longer have an Xbox because why, motherfucker? Why? Seriously, why would I have a Series X? Why? No bullshit. Keep it 1,000 with me. Why would I have an Xbox? For what reason would I need an Xbox for? Don't even say Game Pass because I don't even need an Xbox for Game Pass. I could have it on my laptop if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make any sense. I don't like doing it. I'm not wishy washy and I have to like conform to motherfuckers online to for motherfuckers to like me. I don't need motherfuckers to like me. I'm just trying to have an honest conversation with whoever's trying to listen about gaming and shit. You know what I mean? And that's all it is like for me. Like I don't give a fuck if you like what I think or don't like what I think. It is what it is. This is how I think. You know what I mean? Like between the two, what's up, Lincoln? Between the two, I was supposed to actually do this Sunday, but Thrash had a round table shit on Sunday, so once I got off of there, I was too tired to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, man. With the whole tribalism shit, the nerve of this motherfucker, man. You came out like not you, but your company came out with a product. How long ago was it? Like almost 20 years ago. And there's a group of people who bought that and they liked it. It struck a chord with them to where they actually enjoyed it enough to keep on buying your stuff, right? And the 360 came out and a lot more people bought your shit. And they enjoy what you did for them during that generation. They paid for your product and they enjoyed the product that they got. Because of that, they became loyal fans of yours. And they hate it when people disrespect your shit. Like ponies do. You know what I'm saying? They hate it when they disrespect your shit. So they fucking on behalf of you because they are such loyal customers. They're willing to talk to these other motherfuckers because they wildin' on your product. You see that shit? No company is ever against that shit. Now, if you're talking about like toxic tribalism, right? Let's talk about toxic. What level of toxicness are we talking about here? Because I'm gonna be real, like even though I love Sony shit, it doesn't mean that I can excuse what other motherfuckers who play on Sony shit does. Because there's a lot of ponies out there weird as fuck. I'm just keeping it 1,000. And not to be well, no, to be disrespectful. Even though there's a lot of ponies out there that's wild as fuck, I feel like there's way more Xbox out there that's even worse. Way worse. I was about to say not to be disrespectful, but no, actually, let me take that back. All disrespect. I mean it with full disrespect. I feel like Xbox are wild as fuck this generation. Y'all crazier this generation than last generation. And last generation was a whole 7 years, fam. We've only been on this generation for like not even barely a month yet. You know what I mean? Shit's crazy. But it's overall, man, gaming should be about that, man. The joy of just playing some games and talking about it. All this extra shit they add on to it. That's why you see them do that. You see them like try to be against tribal toxic, you know what I'm saying? Toxic tribal fanboyism. But really though, you made it a bad thing. I'm serious. Like real fanboys are the heart and soul of any IP, any product. Here's a prime example. Y'all know Mr. Pio? Y'all seen him around, right, Mr. Pio? That is like the perfect definition of what you would call a positive fanboy. That motherfucker is a fanboy to death. But there's not a toxic bone in that man's body. Like that dude's hilarious. You know what I mean? That's what fanboys are really supposed to be like. Not the toxic one that y'all motherfuckers talk about. Matter of fact, when y'all say the word fanboys, that's probably the first thing y'all think of. It's like the toxic version. I don't think that at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't think toxic when I think fanboy. I think this motherfucker like this shit a whole lot. You know what I mean? So much that he would love to like sit down and talk to me about it for 10 hours nonstop. He wouldn't even get bored. Because there is certain things in life that I can sit down and talk to you all day and not get bored. Because I'm a fanboy of that shit. I'm not even a PlayStation fanboy to be honest with you. I'm more of a fanboy of Capcom and From Software and fucking, you know what I mean? And if I am a fanboy or something and Sony related, it'll be the studios that they have. Cause fuck a PlayStation. Well, take that back. Fuck all the PlayStation before PS5's dope though. PS5 deserve all the praise it gets. It's just dope. You know what I mean? It's like like I like a bunch of studios out there, and if you want to talk with me about those games that I like from those studios, we can literally talk a full day, and I won't get bored. Like the nerve, like just when you know what I'm saying, just when I was talking to y'all the few weeks ago about how fucking Phil Spencer is a fucking habitual line stepper, man. This motherfucker constantly step like on that line, and motherfucker is cool about it. It's like you ever notice like every time this motherfucker do an interview, he speaks about gaming like he's more than like just this, an exec for Xbox, as if he looks over all of gaming. No, motherfucker, you are an exec for Xbox. Speak about Xbox and Microsoft related games only, please. Don't nobody give a fuck about what your thoughts are about the fucking, you know what I mean? The level of disrespect, fam. Real shit, Arsenic. He probably, I mean, like no one hyped me up more to play Final Fantasy VII remake than Mr. Pio. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker right there got me like wanting to play that game. Because at first I was like, iffy about it. But see, because of this motherfucking fanboy, I was playing some Final Fantasy VII remake, and I love that shit. And that's just like, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole point, Fusion. Like me, I could talk to y'all forever about certain games. That makes me a fanboy of that game. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you, but that's alright, man. That's I like what I like. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I feel like Phil be like habitually just stepping on lines, bro, and motherfuckers like just seem to be cool with it. There's just the amount of shit he says over the year. I mean, we can name him off all the crazy shit this motherfucker say about gamers. You know what I'm saying? About the gaming industry, about gamers. You know what I mean? And he be stepping on lines all the fucking time, and we like, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers just take it to like to the face. Exactly, Rex. Like the nerve of this motherfucker. Who is you, sir? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is you, Mister Spencer, Mister Spencezi? Who the fuck makes you think you could speak on gaming in general, motherfucker? You don't know. You don't. You've been in charge of Xbox related gaming for half a generation, motherfucker. I mean, how the fuck was this man named the most important person in gaming like a year ago or 2 years ago? Or was that the title? I don't even remember, but it was like something about was it most influential or something like that. I'm like, how the fuck? And I've never even heard of that awards until he received it. He is, bruh. Like for real. Think about it. How many execs have you ever heard like got out of pocket like that? You know what I'm saying? How many of them have you seen that have gotten out of pocket like that, telling you like what games no longer make impacts, telling you like it's good that he cancel a certain game for you? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure y'all remember some of the shit. I can't come up with all the shit he said over the years, but he said a bunch of wild shit. I'm sure y'all could think of. I mean, but it's natural though. It's natural though. Plus, I'm black. That I, see, they purposely use words like that, toxic tribalism, just to make it, just to sully it up. But, bruh, any good product, right? Any decent product or IP or service will have people rooting for it because they like it. That's gonna happen with everything. I mean, iPhones and Samsungs, Coke and Pepsi, they just whatever. There's always gonna be a group of people that's gonna be behind your product because they like your product. The part where it gets ugly is when those fans like you so much they forgot why they like you. Like where Xbox is at right now. There's a lot of reasons. There was a lot of reasons to like Xbox back in the OG Xbox and the Xbox 360. There's a lot of reasons why you could like them. So it's not weird that they're Xbox fans. They came from those eras of gaming. You know what I mean? It's not weird that they're there. And the other day I was actually listening to Six podcast, right? And he was talking about when Phil was saying that, he was saying that more like, please, PlayStation dudes, don't be toxic and tribalistic, buy my shit too, right? I'm thinking is like he was saying, like I don't want to put words in his mouth. That you got to watch what he said, but I'm just paraphrasing somewhat, right? And I kind of agree with that because I'm be honest with you, no one's gonna not want that for their own company and their product. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker talking about he don't have to come up with uh, first person. I mean, not first person, first party exclusive on release because motherfuckers out here you copping Xbox anyways, baby. It's sold out. I don't need to do shit. Like, if that's not some of the most line steppingest fucking shit to say, it's just crazy, bro. Like, he says so many shit over the years. You know what I mean? That's wild as fuck. I don't know why we just let him slide with it every time. Hey, facts though. Magnificent Black. Facts though. You know what I'm saying? They bleed green. They even got they colors and shit on they soldier rag. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't give a fuck about Jim Ryan and Mark Cerny like that. I give a fuck about Mark Cerny more than Jim Ryan, to be really real with you, because he's behind the console that I play. I barely understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, serial killer looking ass motherfucker. I don't understand what he's saying for real, but I mean, I tune into what he say more than Jim Ryan. Like gamers are the only people that do this type of shit. Like we know all these people. There's so much other shit that I don't know the president of whoever or like the CEO or whoever's in charge of, you know what I'm saying, of whatever other shit that I like, but I know so well like all this shit about gaming. Well, I mean, Sony's where it's at, man. I hate to like do this to people, Arsenic, but it is where it is. It's where all the buzz is at. It's where all the like memorable games are at. Even more than PC. I know y'all hate to hear that shit, but PC gaming is just not the same as console gaming. And when you can get that, like, when you can finally understand that shit, then you would feel better about the situation. Like, no PC dude should ever, like, hop into a conversation between console dudes. And console dudes should never hop into a conversation when PC dudes are talking. It's just like a whole different world. You know what I mean? You know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like, uh, I'm trying to give y'all an example on why it doesn't make sense to for console dudes to even like talk to PC dudes or any other way around is because it's kind of hard to do that because every metaphor would break apart if you actually try to break it apart when it comes to that shit. But PC dudes play on PC for a reason. It's not the same reason why console dudes play games. If you can understand that, then you'll be able to like sleep better at night when it comes to PC and consoles and shit. I know what I like. That's why I play on a PlayStation. I just know what I like. I'm not saying I would hate playing on PC, but a PlayStation has always worked for me. There's just no reason to do extra shit, you know? Because regardless, I still need a PlayStation to play all the PlayStation shit. And I just don't have the energy to build a PC or buy other consoles just to play third party shit. It just seems unnecessary. I have a perfectly good gaming system right here that can play third party games. Why do I need to, you know, have another version? And I don't need to play the best version of something. I just need to play a good version of something. You feel me? That's all that really matters. So let's recap, man, because I've been on here for an hour and a half and I'm starting to ramble. You know what I mean? Let's recap. Cyberpunk, I hope it's good, but I'm scared that it's not. And what I'm scared about is not so much the way it looks, because that could be fixed. Patches and shit, the game will look gorgeous pretty soon. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm more concerned about all the other intangibles about a game, because all the leaks that I've seen, I didn't search for cyberpunk shit. You know what I mean? So I have not seen no full, leaks or nothing. I just seen little clips here and there, and the shit looks rough. The AI looks bad. You know what I'm saying? The gameplay looks uninspired, and that's what I'm holding, man. Like, it just makes me nervous. It's not about the way it looks, because the looks can be, changed. They can make it look better. But certain shit cannot be changed with a patch that easily. Like AI and fucking, like, just all this other shit that's more important, in my opinion. I think people are not focusing on the right shit when it comes to this cyberpunk shit. I think when it comes to cyberpunk, the merit of the game is not so much the way it looks, because patches are coming and all that kind of shit. That shit can be fixed. We need to look out for the lore, the gameplay, the story, the execution of all of that shit, and just the minor details and things that you should expect from a game like this. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff is what you need to look out for. I hope it's good. Be really real. I'm just not hyped for it like I thought I would be. My hype died like slowly day by day with this fucking games. Over the last 2 years, my hype kind of officially died for it once I saw that melee combat. But you never know. You know, we'll see what happens once Jemiah play it. He could tell me how dope it is, and it might get me hyped to play it when the PS5 version come out. Because I'm on a PS5. The fuck am I gonna do? Play it on a PS4 version? What the fuck? I'm not doing that shit. That's crazy. I haven't booted up my PlayStation 4 in who knows how long. It's not even plugged in anymore. I'm not playing a PS4 version. That's ridiculous. And I'm not uppity about that type of shit. I just believe in progress. You know what I mean? If I'm all about, well, I mean, Jemiah, like, me, I don't take Metacritic like that. You know what I'm saying? To heart like that. It's like, whether it's negative or positive. There's like a whole bunch of games that are like in the 70s that I like, bruh. And there's a whole bunch of 90s games that I'm like, I mean, it's not really like that for real. You know what I mean? So I can't really call it, man. Like, you know how it is. Like, there's certain games where I personally felt like it's like a 9 or a 10, and people give it like 6 or 5s and shit. You know what I mean? A 91 is nothing to like bitch at either. I don't know why motherfuckers tripping at a 91, but we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. Because a 91 is a 91 until you play it and realize what the fuck did you base that 91 on. And like I said before, man, I'm not concerned about the way it looks, because that's easily patched. I'm more concerned about all the other shit surrounding it. If AI is bad, that's fucking really really easy to fuck up my immersion if the AI is bad. It's first person, so gunplay. I don't know how well gunplay is gonna do compared to other games that have more time to focus on gunplay, and it's just harder to do cooler shit in first person compared to third person. Just little stuff like that just concerns me. I didn't know about wall run and shit. I'm not. I'm not gonna act like I didn't disappointed that Wall Run isn't in there. No, I didn't even know about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the whole cyberpunk situation is just a fucking mess, dude. This game been like announced years and years ago. The first original trailer with that supermodel chick getting shot at, the supermodel cyborg chick that's getting shot at, all the way until now, man. This game been worked on for longer than 5 years. Like, and there's controversies among controversies on top of it. Nothing serious, but it's been a lot of shit, and I'm not knocking it because you know what? This is both a compliment and at the same time kind of disrespectful, but it is what it is. I feel like the team at CD Projekt Red should be applauded for having such great ambitions, right? They scale back so much because they're, either they're limited on funds or limited on technology, but they can't realize their ambition the way they wanted to. I'm sure if they could, this game would have been fucking insane, but they couldn't. So they should, we should applaud them for having that kind of ambition. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, in the reality of the situation is having ambition alone doesn't really mean you have to follow through. You know what I mean? It don't mean shit to have ambition. Ambitions doesn't pay bills. Following through with your ambition pay bills. You feel me? And I feel like they wasn't able to follow through with their ambition as well as they want. I think that's the biggest issue with Cyberpunk. Because of course CD Projekt Red is didn't set out to deceive anyone or anything like that. I'm sure they set out to make an incredible game. At least in their hearts they did. What kind of devs sit around and be like, all right, we gonna say all this good shit and not deliver on it? You know what I mean? That's insane. I'm sure they tried their best to get there, but they're limited by either funds or technology or a combination of both, to where they couldn't do what they wanted to truly do with that game. And I think all the controversies surrounding it just stems from that, just having to scale back from their original ambition, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. That game should have been a this generation slash PC only game. I don't know if that changes anything, but I feel like it should. If it was just a Xbox Series, PlayStation 5 game, you know what I mean, and PC only, no last gen tech, I think it would have made a difference. But they've been working on it for so long. I'm sure they built it for last gen tech because the game been in development for over 5 years. I mean, cost don't mean shit, man. You already know. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm sure it's getting tens for a reason. But at the same time, you can't make sense out of the reviews sometimes. Like reviews just make no sense. That's what I'm saying. The issue is not so much with Cyberpunk, but with the way reviews are done. Period. Because it makes no sense. You can't list off a million things that's good about a game and then give it a seven. You give no cons on a game. Just list nothing but pros and then give it a seven. And then there on a certain games you'll give all these negative shit about the game and then give it a 10. Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. There's no rubric to it. There's no fucking system to where you can say, all right, I understand why they gave it a 10 is because, this game hit all these criterias to make it a 10. You know, a reviewer can just say whatever they want and give a number whatever they want, really. That doesn't somehow coincide with each other. Like the fucking number score they gave doesn't reflect the written score that they wrote, you know? It just doesn't fucking matter. And this shit's not going away unless there will be rubric to how you fucking do reviews, and that's probably not going to happen. As that, I mean, it is what it is with that. And we'll see what it's going to be like. I mean, I expect Jemiah and them to tell me what, how Cyberpunk plays and feel and all that bullshit once it does come out. I mean, of course not, bro. Like you can't. there's no way to tell them either. Like, how are we gonna tell them not to review a game the way they review it? You know what I mean? It's their right as reviewers to review games the way they want to review it. That's their outlet. You know what I mean? It's hard for any, like, any type of organization to like do that type of shit. But companies, you can do it just fine though. Companies can mandate what reviewers can and can't say or do with their reviews and shit. Yeah, I mean that's all we can say about it at this point, Jemiah. Like, good or bad, is it's about to be here in like 2 3 days. I mean, I'm gonna have to wait for like the PS5 version. So I mean, I would have been heated, to be honest with you. If I was hyped for this game, I would have been heated that I had to wait to play PS5. But since I'm not that hype, I can wait. It's not too bad. You know what I mean? But if it turns out the game is fucking fire, yeah, Jemai, I don't understand that shit at all. And didn't they say they had the PS5 and the this generation console version done, but it was harder for them to do the last version, or is it the other way around? I don't fucking know anymore. All I know is it's about to be here. We'll find out what it's like, whether it's deserving of that score or not. But well, we'll find out. As far as the Game Awards, man, I'm just hyped for everything around the awards except for the awards. Like, I'm ready for the trailers. You know what I'm saying? Surprise me, motherfucker. Surprise me, please, with some new shit. You know what I mean? Show me some shit I expect, God of War and all that other shit, stuff that I know that's already coming, but surprise me with some shit, man. And I'm ready. I'm ready for those rumors to come true with Silent Hill and all that. I feel like if anything's gonna happen with Silent Hill or Metal Gear Solid, it will be at the Game Awards, because you know how Keeley love to suck fucking Kojima's dick. So if it's anything Kojima related, it'll be at the Game Awards. You know what I mean? I need to see some Elden Ring shit. I haven't seen Elden Ring shit in a minute. Um, See what's up with some Capcom stuff. I hope Street Fighter 6 is announced there. I know Street Fighter 6 been working. They've been working on it, but I need them to announce it. You know what I mean? It's about that time. I mean, so I'm looking forward to it, man. What is it, like in 2 days? It's on Thursday, right? And I get home from work early on Thursday too, so I'm gonna have to watch that. I was supposed to do this podcast Sunday, man, but I just didn't get a chance to because I was on the round table for like 3 hours and I got tired afterwards. I didn't want to do this shit. But I think we good here, man. I mean, it's sometimes I just feel like speaking on it because it just seems so dumb, man. Like, a lot of shit that's going on, and I'm just like, God damn, this shit's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the stuff that people are doing out there, like homie pulling a gun for no goddamn reason, incriminating himself. Whether, whether that shit's registered or unregistered, you kind of fucked. Um, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird out here. But sometimes I just need to speak on it to, like, actually calm myself down. But I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Um, Jemiah, man, I expect you to give me a solid review on the fucking game. I don't need you to bullshit me either. I need you to tell me what it's like. You know what I mean? On your PC. On your fucking PC. I don't need you to tell me what, I'm saying, the PS4 version is like, because I would not be playing the PS4 version. I'll be playing the PS5 version. Rex, thanks for coming through, though, man. Like, I usually do it Sundays. It's just, you know what I mean? Kind of, I was supposed to do it this Sunday. I just missed it. Future was here and shit. Is Future still here? I don't know if Future's still here or not. Magnificent Black, Arsenic, Lay and them. Am I missing anybody? I know I'm missing somebody. Plus on Black was here earlier too. I mean, I appreciate y'all coming through. You know what I mean? I just did it randomly. I didn't even think somebody and y'all was gonna come through like that. Earlier, Get This Work was here too. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Check the round table, man. We just do random podcasts. I usually should be doing mine on Sunday. So this week I'll probably do it twice because Sunday's coming up in a few days. So At least I could do one on Sunday and talk about the aftermath of, Game Awards and all this other shit. But I appreciate y'all coming through as usual. Royal Flush, Draco Rex, Asian Gambit. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for coming through the winning hand. And I'll see y'all Sunday and or the winning the winning hand podcast. The roundtable podcast, whichever one comes first. But I'll see y'all, man. Good night.